Hello, it's a warm welcome to the discussion segment of the program. On our discussion segment today, we'll be featuring professional wrestling. And of course, joining us in the studio is the Secretary of the Pro Wrestling Africa. His duty is not just to promote wrestling in Nigeria, but to promote wrestling in West Africa, in the African sub-region, and also to take African wrestlers to the different parts of the world, of course, to get to the level of the World Wrestling Entertainment and, of course, World Wrestling Federation International Championship, to rate our professional wrestlers and, of course, also to give them a great platform to showcase their talent. So, Secretary of the Pro Wrestling Africa is going to take us through what it means to promote professional wrestling. Take us through what the experience has been so far when you took it right there to Benin Republic and to Togo.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this great program. In Denmark, I went for a training myself.
Okay.
Because as a trainer, I also need to be trained.
Okay.
So on how to manage pro wrestling and promote it. That was in Denmark, organized by Copenhagen Pro Wrestling. That was it. So just 2 weeks. So and when I came back, we went to Togo to establish wrestling in Togo. In Africa, as a continent that has 54 nations, there are just 4 countries doing great pro wrestling. Nigeria, Cameroon, South Africa, and Congo.
Oh, yeah.
Out of 54 nations.
Okay.
That's not a pass mark. So we at Pro Wrestling Africa thought, okay, what do we do now? Charity begins at home. Let's start from Togo, Ghana, Benin, and so we can, involve ourselves in promoting the game. And that's what took us to Togo. November last year, we established inaugurate wrestling in Togo. And this year, March, we went to first, second, and third. We're going to say training, 3 days training for Togo people. It was so awesome.
Okay, so let's start with that now. So they have wrestlers already, but they need to have an official inaugurated board to run the wrestling.
Yes.
What was really lacking that you people, the wrestling promoters in Nigeria, brought to Togo and Benin Republic to make it more professional?
They don't even have wrestling at all.
Okay, but they have wrestlers.
They have they have traditional wrestlers in those 2 countries and amateur wrestlers.
Okay,
but not pro at all.
Okay,
so with our visiting the place, they started pro wrestling as well, and they were inaugurated. They have federation now.
Okay,
because they run it in various parts of their countries too. Associations which now form a federation. But the first thing to be done is to have a base, to have a federation, have an executive that we can be talking to, that we can be working with. Okay. So those ones are already in place now.
Okay, absolutely fantastic. Good job you're doing right there. So now, these wrestlers from Togo, Benin Republic, do they have a platform or the Africa Pro Wrestling title or championship that they were going to be fighting on? They were going to fight on their label and come to Nigeria and get more experience.
They have to start from their own national championship first.
Okay.
So and that's what we're working on now. Let each nation have their own championship. Yeah. Before we now invite them to come and fight in Nigeria. Okay. To come and compete with us. So, we're having a championship in October 27th. So, we want to bring 2 wrestlers from Benin, 2 from Togo, come and train with us for 2 weeks. Okay. And try and see how you can showcase them too during the event.
Why do they need to have that exposure, that training facility, the training models right there in Europe? Because it looks like a different ball game altogether when they are in Africa.
Yes. Where we got to Belgium in July 6th to be precise, we were at the Belgium Young Wrestling Style. Yeah. That's why we got the training at. So when these guys train for 2 weeks, guys, let's go back and say, no, please, help us to sign a deal with this coach. That we need to learn more here rather than going back home. Okay, and I called the coach Shaolin Master. We call him Shaolin Master. Okay. Very, very good at it. Those from Congo, but with 24 years experience in Belgium. Okay. What do we do now? This guy said he wants to say yes. I should put up a letter that he wants to stay back for the next 1 year and sign it. I said, why not? I can do that for them. After 1 year, we will now see what is possible. Okay. To cut long story short, Eagle fought last weekend. Yeah. And he won the Rumble match.
Absolutely great. Amazing. To tell you that we have the talent, we need to expose them. We need to give them the right platform.
That's just the challenge we have.
Okay.
They are not exposed. In fact, the raw talent he has.
And it's not like he's the best in Nigeria, though. He's a fantastic fighter, no doubt. Yes. But we have so many other great fighters in Nigeria.
But he proved the stuff he was made of in
Belgium. That stuff has always been there.
A Royal Rumble against a guy from Portugal, Italy, and Nigeria.
Absolutely great.
He eventually won that match. which we couldn't have done in Nigeria here.
Good.
So Nigerians, we have a lot of potentials, a lot of great guys, but no good training facilities to train with.
Yes, in terms of the tactics, what do they really gain in terms of the approach of the fight? Because we know the way they train and the fight right here in Nigeria. What's different now they train in Belgium?
Lot of differences.
Yeah, tell us too.
Lot of differences. For instance, over there, we train in the morning, just as we do here, so, but with a lot of modern gadgets than what we have. For example, here now we use stones at times to do our exercises. Go picking stones, to run a pick stone, come and drop it. Over there, it is not stone they use. They have modern facilities they use, and all those things and add more to the value of the game of the sports.
Platform opportunity like the Belgium, the Denmark have for African wrestlers, not just only Nigerian wrestlers. Now they're going to be fighting on labels like it's just a great platform for the likes of Eagle the Great already fighting on that page.
We, apart from Belgium, apart from Denmark, we want to see how we can bring out our guys to show the potentials that they are made of. There are a lot of trainings. We're trying to schedule training tours for them, even as we go about next year. Not just that, as we're doing that, we're also showcasing them here too in Nigeria. For example, we had a show in December 2023. We call it end of the year championship. June this year too, we had the mid-year batch. So as we're doing that, we are showcasing them locally and internationally. Because charity begins at home. So a lot has to be done, but we must start from somewhere.
So the working relationship with the Pro Wrestling Africa now, would they see that as a right platform for, I mean, the foreign, do you have a chance of foreign wrestlers even coming to fight in Nigeria, as in Europeans coming to fight in Nigeria? What's the working relationship with the Pro Wrestling Africa?
We've done it before, and we can do it again. For example, the championship we had in June, a guy came from US.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a Nigerian.
Yes.
I've never wrestled in Nigeria before.
That's true.
He went to US 2016. We had about doing the championship. He came on his own, and we used him.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
In November two Americans will be, a guy from America and from Canada will be coming to Nigeria in November for championship. So if you are giving them that privilege, that means we need to go out too and showcase the stuff we are made of.
So how does this inspire Nigerian pro wrestlers now, knowing that there's now opportunity for them internationally, and they're not just fighting locally, they can fight in Africa, they can fight in Europe? How inspired are they now, motivated?
Very much inspired.
To get better?
Very much inspired. Eagle the Great wrestled in Belgium over the weekend. They have been challenged now to wrestle in Kinshasa, Congo. So in 2 months' time, he will leave Belgium, go to Kinshasa, go and compete, and go back again to. So that is what we really want to. We're not just establishing pro wrestling in Benin, in Togo, in Ghana. We want to form an alliance with them.
Exactly.
So that after training for a while now, we try to send a coach to Togo, a coach again to Benin. Ghana is already telling us now, hey, what is happening? With all what we are doing now, we got a message from Lusaka, Zambia. So you guys are just taking care of yourself up there. We are here too.
Yeah. So Nigeria's the big brother.
What is possible? So, okay, just hold on. We have to talk about that and discuss it. And see, and let's see what is possible.
Yeah. So there seems to be revival in pro wrestling now in Nigeria with all these movements. Yeah.
If you can remember during the days of Lion Heart, Power Mike, those days, Stadiums always boom with crowd. Yeah. But we lost the glory.
Yeah.
So we're trying to revive it back now, yes. Yeah. It is very much possible with time.
Working with Ghana, working with Benin Republic, working with Togo to get belts that are graded, that are rated internationally. How do you get championship fight for Africa? Because you're not just for Nigeria, for Africa as a whole.
We're not just working alone.
Good.
We have a parent body in Florida.
Yeah.
Golden Wrestling Federation. I've been there before to attend a training myself too on how to manage and promote wrestling. So we have that, and we also have again a bigger umbrella, AIWF, Allied Independent Wrestling Federations. Yeah, it's a big brother in
step by step.
So we are working with all those.
Yeah, because Nigerian wrestlers they have the big dream that one day they're going to be in WWE. So I want to understand the step level, the different grading, different alliances, different wrestling federations you work with before you get to that big level.
We have lots of them.
Okay,
we are working with. But the alliances.
What opportunities, with the alliances?
A lot of opportunities. For instance, now this AIWF always have a championship every March.
Good.
March of every year.
Okay.
We've invited to come and showcase our talents next year.
Fantastic.
Not just that, we signed a deal with Belgium. Okay, as it is now, we can always bring our wrestlers here to come and train.
Fantastic.
And we have shows too, we'll bring you guys in too. France is inviting us now for December.
Okay.
To showcase our talents too.
Okay.
So we just don't want to rest on our horse. We want to really spread the tentacles and see what is possible.
The African Wrestling Championship you're holding, I think it's October.
October 27th,
yes. Yes, take us through everyone, the wrestlers that are going to be projecting, how many bouts, what are we looking at? What's the platform for this one?
Just 4 bouts for that
okay.
event, and a champion must emerge.
Good.
For example, now AWF Europe, AWF Africa, AWF, they have all over the world. We are in charge of AWF Africa. And we are going to have a championship that night. Like we showcase a talent.
Great.
And we really claim that title. And we go and represent us in US in March.
Okay. And talking about Benin Republic and Togo, now you've inaugurated federations there. Yes. Like you said, they're going to develop their own talent. Yes. Then later they'll be fighting for African belts. Yes. What's the long-term goal for that?
So far so good. We get them 3 years.
Okay.
At least within that 3 years, they will have done their own championship nationally.
Okay.
Then we can now bring them in to come and participate in the big PWA events.
Okay.
We've done it before in Cameroon twice, in Zimbabwe once, in Nigeria 3 times. So I want to see how you can showcase it to not just Nigeria alone. Okay. PWA is an umbrella body of wrestling in Africa.
Okay.
So I want to take it across the continent.
Of course, he's taking Nigerian wrestlers to Belgium, to Denmark for training tours, and of course, they also inaugurated Nigerian, professional wrestling in Togo and Benin Republic. Of course, Nigeria playing the big brother to promote African wrestling at its finest, at its very best. Thank you for being the guest on our program today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, that has been the guest section on Sportswell today. The program continues after this time.